let's go ahead and start debunking this fucking dreidel spinner here. He's going to make a bunch of lies.
Let's watch and
Oh,
react.
you can already tell this dude's a... This nigga have eyeliner on? What the fuck? All right.
How should Israel have responded to a terrorist attack which just...
All right, let me go through. Okay, now this video is basically where I talk about how they could have responded to October 7th. He's going to go ahead and respond to my shit. I hope it's not confusing to you guys because he's reacting to my shit, so it's kind of a little confusing. But you guys get the idea. I'm going to tell you guys how Israel should have responded. I didn't get a chance to fucking finish my statement on this, but your boy Myron Gaines is going to go ahead and give you guys a full analysis of how they should have responded. Now, when October 7th happened, right, we know that roughly 200 plus Israelis were kidnapped and brought back to the Gaza Strip, right? And we know that leading up to the Israelis invading the Gaza Strip and bombing them because they knew at that point, holy shit, we fucked up, right? They're going to hit us hard. There was a deal in place to get the hostages back.
There was absolutely no deal in place 2 days after October 7th. It is not verifiable. It's not proven.
Oh, really? What the fuck is this, bro? What the fuck is this? Times of Israel, Israeli media, okay? This is a dude that met with Benjamin Netanyahu and the government on multiple occasions, okay, to facilitate the, to represent the families of the kidnapped victims, right? So here he is. We left the atmosphere. So what was the atmosphere like? He goes, we left the meeting very disappointed because Netanyahu talked about dismantling Hamas as the goal of the war. He didn't promise anything regarding the demand to return the hostages. He merely said a military operation in Gaza was needed to serve as leverage for the hostages' release. Then it says, we later found out that Hamas had offered on October 9th or 10th to release all the civilian hostages in exchange for the IDF not entering the Strip, but the government rejected the offer. Don't play with me, motherfucker. You fucking...
Redacted.
If you're gonna come at me, you better fucking not miss. Okay? You better not miss. I'm using your own fucking media and the words of your prime minister and a representative of the fucking hostages to prove you're fucking...
Redacted.
Because that's all you motherfuckers do is lie. Lie, lie, lie. Get the fuck out of here. So what? We're a minute in and I've already smoked you. What the fuck does this say, bro? We later found out that Hamas had offered on October 9th or October 10th to release all the civilian hostages in exchange for the IDF not entering the Strip. He heard Benjamin Netanyahu himself say that the priority was dismantling Hamas. He heard it from himself. What have I been telling you motherfuckers the whole time? The real priority is ethnic cleansing and taking the land. But they didn't want to tell this to the representatives of the hostage families. Actions show everything. So we're not even a minute in, and we're already cooking this nigga, bro. It's 1941 in this bitch. And in this case, the ovens are real. All right, let's keep embarrassing this nigga, bro. This is why, yo, these Zionists cannot beat me, man.
Proven. And let me tell you this. Even
We
if
just proved it. He's wrong.
there would have been a hostage exchange deal, I would have never accepted it as a prime minister. 2 days after October 7th, you're expecting me to get the hostages back and not invade? Are you kidding me? You don't dictate the rules. You invaded my country. You killed my people. You raped women. You did horrific things to our people. And now you're telling me how to dictate the war?
Okay, so look, now he pivots. Oh, well, you know, that's not true. It is true, actually. They could have got the deals back. Now he wants to say, well, you know what? Even if it was true, it doesn't matter because you don't dictate the terms of how this goes. We can respond however we see fit, right? Well, how you see fit is killing a bunch of fucking kids, which is unacceptable. That's been debunked a million times. Show me proof of the mass. The Israeli government put out a 40-minute propaganda video of compilations of the of October 7th. All right? And in those compilations, there was no. It was a lie. The mass facade is a lie. And I'll tell you guys why. I got proof right now. Because unlike this fucking guy, I'll come with some receipts. Let me tell you guys where this fucking mass lie came from.
Jewish Coalition fundraiser. There, Beer rattled off a slew of lies that Yossi Landau would have been proud to have concocted.
I saw in my own eyes a woman who was pregnant, 4 months pregnant. They came into her house in front of her kids, opened up her stomach, took out the baby and stabbed the little tiny baby.
Now, this guy, this piece of shit, he is a member of an Israeli organization, right? Like Zaka. And what these guys basically do is their job is to prepare Jewish corpses for proper burial. Okay? Now, this dude made a bunch of money by being the first on the scene and spreading these lies of the beheaded babies. This motherfucker right here. I'm giving you guys names and facts. This guy, Yossi Landau, is the primary fucking person that pushed the narrative of the beheaded babies, babies in ovens, and mass murders. Okay? No proof of it. Now, another important thing that you guys need to understand. What these guys did, these fucking scumbags, is when they arrived on the scene, because they were the first ones on the scene, they positioned the bodies in certain ways to incite rage. And in some cases, they positioned the bodies of the women in positions to make it look like they were victims of sexual assault. However, there's been not a shred of fucking DNA evidence showing that there were sexual assaults. That's the fucking truth. Now, let me be clear about this. Let me be explicitly clear about this because I know these fucking idiots are going to try to misconstrue what I'm saying. I'm not saying that rape may or may not have occurred on October 7th. But what I am saying is the evidence to prove the mass systemic
redacted
of Israeli women on October 7th, there's no evidence to back it. That's what I'm saying. I'm not denying it happened. It might have happened in some instances. But what I am saying is what they're saying, mass, there's no proof of that. This fucking piece of shit here, Yossi Landau, remember his name, got $13 million spreading these lies. And I'll play a clip of it for you guys.
Never materialized, even after the media requested them. The story of the beheaded babies was also implausible according to official Israeli government data, which confirmed that only one baby, 11-month-old Mila Cohen, was killed on October 7. Just one, and she was tragically shot by accident through a door, not decapitated. Landau also claimed to possess photos of a fetus that Hamas had cut from a pregnant woman's body.
Or when you go in and you see a lady face down, we turn her around, she was pregnant woman. The stomach is butchered up and a knife is still stacked in that baby. The unborn baby.
Yet the images never materialized, even after the media requested them. One fact Landau did prove, however, was that the business of fabricating atrocity porn is extremely lucrative. Before October 7th, his Zaka organization was nearly broke, but in the aftermath of the propaganda bonanza they fueled, they raked in over $13 million in donations in just...
So, he made $13 million. You don't think he's going to fucking make some shit up to make even more? Look at this.
A short amount of time. The Israeli paper Haaretz reported that Zaka volunteers were so desperate to cash in on October 7th that they actually rearranged corpses discovered in the kibbutzim, literally playing with dead bodies.
We're about to smoke this boy today. We're going to pack up this motherfucker, SaharTV, whatever the fuck his name is. Did you guys hear that? Again, Israeli media.
Reported that Zaka volunteers were so desperate to cash in on October 7th that they actually rearranged corpses discovered in the kibbutzim, literally playing with dead bodies in order to exaggerate the sense of horror before...
This comes from Israeli media. They rearranged the bodies to stoke more rage, more anger, and get donations. Sounds pretty fucking Jewish to me.
Or send...
All right. Let's keep cooking, chat. So, debunked again. The mass lie. We get to go ahead and come in however we want. Bullshit. You're going to go in and kill a bunch of fucking people for pride? They can't tell me how to conduct warfare. They invaded us. We have a right to, and they took hostages. We're going to go in there and show them what's right. Well, now look at you. 2 years later, no one supports Israel. Good job, dummy.
To eliminate you? If Hamas would have surrendered completely and would have given the hostages back completely, then yes, I would have understood. But this was never a term of...
Here's the thing. They offered to give the hostages back. You would have got your hostages back. But the problem is this. It wasn't about the hostages. It was about taking the land. So that's why you went in and invaded anyway, because it gave you the pretense that you needed. The lies of the mass, the lies of the beheaded babies, the lies of the babies in ovens was to stoke outrage to justify your ability to indiscriminately bomb the fuck out of Gaza and kill kids, you piece of shit.
Fatality.
Of Hamas. Hamas always wants to stay in power.
Right? Without invading. Now, what they should have done was do the deal, get the hostages back. Once you get the hostages back, see, I actually care about the hostages. Fuck your pride. Well, they invaded us. My feelings. Get the hostages back. First. Back. These are innocent people. How the fuck am I more compassionate about getting the hostages back? Bro, you guys want to know something real funny? You guys want to know the real fucking red pill? I care more about getting the hostages back than Benjamin Netanyahu, and that's a fucking fact. I care more about the hostages than Netanyahu. You could go ahead and bomb Gaza relentlessly, but...
Again, another BS. Myron Gaines would still have been on our asses. Candace Owens would have still been on our asses because it has nothing to do with Palestinians. It has to do with Jewish hatred, anti-Israel hatred, and disgusting. Yeah.
Are you fucking stupid? After October 7th happened, the world was overwhelmingly behind Israel. Even myself, I was like, damn. They have the ability to, bro, I was like, yo, defend yourself. It is what it is. But then once I started investigating and looking at shit, I was like, oh, man, no. So that's a lie. The whole world was behind Israel. It wasn't until you guys started fucking indiscriminately bombing and killing kids that people said, fuck you guys. So that's a lie. It's not about Jew hatred. It's about child murderer hatred. Okay? See, this is the problem. This is, let's have a very uncomfortable discussion right now, okay? The anti-Semitism that Jews cry about in modern society is a byproduct not of indoctrinated anti-Semitism, rather it's a byproduct of bad Jewish behavior. Okay? I think people calling you a Jew or a kike or bloodthirsty or whatever, I don't think that's that bad as killing innocent kids. Okay? Don't fucking sit there and say, yo, anti-Semitism is on the rise. They're using mean words when you're dropping bombs on kids. Me hurting your feelings will never amount to you destroying a little girl's life that never got a fucking chance. So save me with the fucking bullshit, bro. Do not fucking sit there and try to be a victim when you guys are actively behind a government that's killed tens of thousands of innocent fucking kids. It's not that anti-Semitism is on the rise out of nowhere. Anti-Semitism is on the rise because of bad fucking Jewish behavior. That's why. And quite frankly, you motherfuckers deserve it. Real talk. You guys deserve all the fucking anti-Semitism that comes your fucking way. You, the Christian Zionists, everybody. You guys all deserve it. Anti-Semitism isn't even a fucking real word. You motherfuckers aren't even Semites, if we're going to be all the way honest. I'm more Semitic than you motherfuckers. I'm a real Arab. I'm not from Ukraine. I'm not from fucking Russia. I'm not from Romania. I'm not from Eastern Europe. I'm not Polish. I have more roots to that land than you motherfuckers. You niggas are Eastern Europeans. You can't even tan. Fuck you talking about you're from the Levant. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck. Now, with that said, there's a lot of Jewish people that are in the fucking good fight, baby. The person I just referenced, Max Blumenthal, he's Jewish. Dave Smith, he's Jewish. Norman Finkelstein, he's Jewish. There's a lot of Jewish voices for peace here that deserve to get admiration. But the anti-Semitism that a lot of you guys are experiencing, you motherfuckers deserve it, bro. Especially you Zionist motherfuckers. Because I'll tell you guys this. I promise you, ain't nobody walking up to fucking Norman Finkelstein calling him slurs. I promise you, ain't nobody walking up to Max Blumenthal calling him a dreidel spinner. I promise you, ain't nobody going up to Dave Smith saying, fuck you, Jew. Okay? So, the anti-Semitism that a lot of you guys are getting is fucking deserved. That would have been a good idea. What they should have done was utilize and leverage their intelligence agencies, their informants, okay? All the people that they have inside Gaza that operate for them, and started to systematically target and assassinate all the leaders of Hamas.
Israel's been doing targeted assassinations since the year 2007. All of us were able to see the outcome of these targeted assassinations when October 7th happened. They didn't do anything. You have to go inside that land and you have to eradicate and dismantle each and every single person who is affiliated to this terrorist group, even if it...
Okay. See, this is why you're an idiot. Here's something that you guys need to understand in Israel. And I think you guys are keenly aware of this, but you try to ignore it. You can kill every single member of Hamas tomorrow. You know what's going to happen? A new group is going to come out and continue to resist. What Israel won't tell you guys is that Israel created Hamas. What Israel won't tell you guys is that Israel created Hezbollah. What Israel won't tell you guys is they created or were responsible for the rise of the Houthis. Your colonial apartheid ethno-state has created the enemies that you currently attack, that resist your oppression. Okay? So you could kill every single Hamas member you want. Men die, ideologies don't. Okay? This is why I am a big proponent of either A, a two-state solution, or B, a one-state solution where you dickheads take the millions of Palestinians that live under your occupation and assimilate them into Israel and give them citizenship and sovereignty. Now, we know that since Israel's a Jewish state, you need to maintain a 80% majority, which by definition makes you an apartheid ethnocentric state. You are not a democracy, even though you guys try to fucking parade around and say that you guys are a democracy. You're not. Because there's millions of people that live under your occupation that don't have representation. So by definition, you are not a fucking democracy. By definition.
It takes years. Wars sometimes take years. So this is the price they have to pay for doing this.
Then just work your way backward from there. They did it with Hezbollah, and Hezbollah is a bigger, stronger, better armed, better trained militia than Hamas. So I don't want to hear anything about, oh, well, you know, we had to go in there and get rid of them. You guys really didn't have to go into Lebanon and get rid of Hezbollah. Yeah, you had some fights on the southern Lebanon, but that was a very quick war. Lasted maybe a month or two.
To claim this was just quick and that nobody had to invade, we invaded Lebanon with brute force.
Hey,
redacted.
I didn't say you didn't invade.
We were in there with a lot of our military, and the reason why it didn't take so long is because of the Beeper operation.
Okay, true. It was a quick war. Compared to you being on Gaza for 2 years now, that's a quick war. The one with Hezbollah. And there's a reason why it was a quick war. You guys were not moving as fast as you thought you were on the ground.
It completely weakened Hezbollah's operation, making this war take a lot less time.
And you guys were out of there, and you guys didn't invade the entire, you guys couldn't make it past the fucking Litani River. That's whole.
If you don't know where the Litani River is, it's in Lebanon. So we were inside Lebanon, according to what he's claiming. We were not inside, we were inside Lebanon.
I never said that you guys weren't. This guy's a fucking...
Redacted.
I never said they didn't go into Lebanon. It's quite the contrary. I said you invaded and it was a quick conflict. What I'm saying is that you guys could not advance as much as you guys thought you were going to advance. Okay? Now, let me tell you guys what the fucking Israelis said that they were going to do. Let's pull up a map. Okay? So, here's Lebanon, right? Just so you guys know why the fuck they invaded. All right? Let's go through this nice and systematically. Nice and orderly. After October 7th happened, what ended up going down, guys, was Hezbollah, militia groups down here in southern Lebanon were shooting rockets into northern Israel, okay? Why did they do this? They did this because it would force the IDF to move soldiers and move military resources to the north. They had to evacuate this area of like 60,000 people, this whole Haifa area, okay? Now, they did this because that would weaken the IDF's ability to fully come into the Gaza Strip, okay? Remember, Hamas and Hezbollah are allies. So what Hezbollah did was they were going ahead and shooting rockets into northern Israel to dilute Israeli forces. So the Israelis, after a period of time, said, this is a pain in the ass. We need to invade Lebanon and stop these guys from shooting rockets at us, right? Now, they had the pager operation and they ran a bombing campaign, okay? They bombed the fuck out of Beirut up here, okay? They bombed the hell out of Beirut and they simultaneously conducted a ground operation here. Now, what they originally said they were going to do was they said they're going to march all the way to Beirut. They couldn't even make it to the fucking Litani River. So in other words, they barely moved into southern Lebanon, all right? The only reason that they were able to be any level of successful was because of the beeper operation. The beeper operation, for those of you that don't know, is the Israelis, Mossad, had put explosives in beepers, pagers, and other communication devices that Hezbollah was using. This operation took about 10 years to fucking get done. 10 years, all right? 10 years. They detonated the beepers within 48 hours, and something like 1,000 guys were either just killed, badly injured, etc. While this was going on, they killed this guy. Now, Hassan Nasrallah is the head of Hezbollah, or he was the head of Hezbollah before he was assassinated in September of 2024, last year. Okay? So, after they assassinated him and went into southern Lebanon and ran the beeper operation, they were able to stave off the missiles coming into northern Israel. The main reason that the Israelis invaded Lebanon was to get rid of and stop the missiles constantly coming into northern Israel. Israel had to evacuate like 60,000 Israelis, chat. That is why they invaded. Because Hezbollah was creating so much fucking chaos for them in northern Israel between shooting rockets and evacuating people that they had to do something. So they waited until they finished their ground campaign in Gaza. They finished up in Rafah, okay? They finished up in Rafah, and they killed this guy, Yahya Sinwar. He was the head of Hamas before he was killed in October. After they killed him in October of last year, right? Or around the time they were killing him, they began the ground assault into Lebanon. Because they killed him accidentally, actually, in Rafah. This area right here. Right? So all this was kind of going on at the same time. So they finished their ground assault in Rafah for the most part, and then they went into Lebanon. During their ground assault, they were getting their asses kicked. They said they were going to get all the way to Beirut. They couldn't do it. They couldn't even get past the Litani River. The only thing that saved them, because their ground game was so fucking trash, because Hezbollah is actually like a competent military, and they've beaten the IDF multiple times before. They whooped their asses back in 2006. Okay? This is not the first time that the Hezbollah has fought the IDF. The only thing that saved the IDF was their beeper operation. The beeper operation was able to target and kill high-ranking members, so it created a whole bunch of paranoia and hysteria within the ranks. Okay? That's what happened. The conversation. But the point is, it was a limited ground entry alongside. Look at that. In the next sentence, I said that it was a limited ground entry. But this idiot's trying to sit there and say that I said that they didn't invade. What a fucking
redacted.
A bomb. Like, I want y'all to hear that back again. Look.
It didn't take so long with brute force.
That was a very quick war. Lasted maybe a month or two.
To claim this was just quick and that nobody had to invade, we invaded Lebanon with brute force.
Number one, it was quick in comparison to the current military campaign in Gaza, which is taking 2 years. It was quick in that regard. And then number two, I never disputed the fact that you guys invaded, dummy.
We were in there with a lot of our military. And
you guys got fucked up. On the ground game, you guys got fucked up. That's a fucking fact. Because you were not able to get to your operational objectives of making it all the way to Beirut. Your beeper operation and your airstrikes is what saved you.
The reason why it didn't take so long is because of the beeper operation. That is
and your airstrikes and killing Hassan Nasrallah.
Redacted.
Completely weakened Hezbollah's operation, making this war take a lot less time.
And you guys were out of there. And you guys didn't invade the entire, you guys couldn't make it past the fucking Litani River. That's all.
If you don't know where the Litani River is, it's in Lebanon. So we were inside Lebanon according to what he...
Nobody's disputing that you weren't in Lebanon, bro. Nobody's disputing that. I'm saying you guys did not make it as far as you thought you would. Big difference. Yo, this guy's an idiot, bro. Why'd y'all niggas send me this guy's shit? He doesn't even know what my argument is.
He's claiming we were not inside, we were inside Lebanon.
Never claimed that you guys weren't inside. Because look at the next sentence I say. Well, the conversation. But the point is, it was a limited ground entry. What did I just say? Limited ground entry? You fucking retard. Did you not just say that I said that they didn't go in? I 100% said that they went in. Right here. Bro, this guy is 60 IQ, bro. Alongside a bombing campaign and an intelligence operation. They didn't do that with Gaza.
It was a full-out operation inside Lebanon. Again, another lie.
They just said, what's a lie? What's a lie? You conceded that they did a ground operation. I said that. You conceded that they ran a pager operation. I said that. And then I said they also ran an air operation. You might not say that, but look at what the facts say, stupid. Here's Hassan Nasrallah. Manner of death. Assassination by airstrike. Shut the fuck up. Is this nigga? And this comes from Wikipedia, which is run by Jews. Yo, no way this guy is serious. Let's level it. And the reason why they leveled it, despite what they tell you, is it wasn't about just eliminating Hamas, okay? What they're not telling you is that there were 3 priorities, okay? That's what the Israeli government is scared to admit. The number 1 priority, we need the Palestinians out of Gaza. That's number 1.
No. This is a serious allegation, and you cannot prove to me that Israel had some sort of policy of expulsion for the civilians of Gaza. Maybe...
Oh, really? Oh, they didn't have a policy of expulsion? Okay, hold on. Israel explores resettling Palestinians from Gaza and South Sudan. What is this?
Clear that they're going in.
6:45 in the morning there, Israel standard to the East African
This came out yesterday. What is this?
country. The outlet says that it's part of a wider effort by Israel to facilitate mass immigration from the territory left in ruins by its 22-month offensive against Hamas. South Sudan, Hal, is this a new idea to you? Why might they think South Sudan makes sense? And if this ends up a reality, would these people be moving from one war-torn area to another?
Austin, you actually kind of hit the nail on the head. They're moving from one war-torn, Civil War strife-torn area to another that's been just, the same. They're moving from one area that has now become synonymous with famine to another area that was synonymous with famine.
Doesn't care to check the facts. It just...
So this guy said first and foremost, right? What did he say?
To get to me that
The Palestinians out of Gaza. That's number one.
No. This is a serious allegation, and you cannot prove to me that Israel had some sort of policy of expulsion.
And to a meeting with your security cabinet. Will Israel take control of all of Gaza?
We intend to.
The number one priority, we need the Palestinians out of Gaza. That's number one.
No. This is a serious allegation, and you cannot prove to me that Israel had some sort of policy of expulsion.
In order to
take control of all of Gaza.
We intend to.
Shut the fuck up. This is your prime minister in his own fucking words saying that we intend to take Gaza. This is news from yesterday that they're trying to settle them in South fucking Sudan.
Them. Again, this is just speculation of Myron Gaines.
Number two, speculation. I just played 3 clips. And there's many more, by the way. Guys, they're thinking about trying to settle them in Jordan. They're thinking about trying to settle them in Egypt. They're trying to settle them in Libya. I just gave you guys a couple of the examples. So they're absolutely trying to expel them. We need to get rid of Hamas.
100%.
So we not only do we need the Palestinian, okay, that's what me and him agree on. It's out. We also need Hamas out as well, right? And then third, the hostages. The hostages are at the bottom of the fucking total poll when it comes to the priorities.
You see how Myron just decided to put it like this? Get rid of the Gazans. This is the top priority, ethnic cleansing, and then get rid of Hamas.
Yeah, we've already seen that. I've shown you proof that that's what they're doing right now as we speak.
and then bring back the hostages. He just decided to make this order on his own.
Oh, really? I think your prime minister made the order for me. Look at this. Again.
Redacted.
We left the meeting very disappointed because Netanyahu talked about dismantling Hamas as the goal of the war. He didn't promise anything regarding the demand to return the hostages. He merely said a military operation in Gaza was needed to serve as leverage for the hostages. That's your fucking prime minister talking to the representatives of the families of the hostages. How much more clear does it got to be? He didn't promise anything regarding the demand to return the hostages. He merely said a military operation in Gaza was needed to serve as leverage for the hostages' release. We later found out that Hamas had offered on October 9th or October 10th to release all the civilian hostages in exchange for the IDF not entering the Strip. But the government rejected the offer. Now, some of you might say, well, Myron, how do we know that this is true? How do we know that he's not lying? Sure. I'll tell you how we know that he's not lying. If we go in and we type in Israel.
Woman who was pregnant, 4 months pregnant. They came into her house in front of her kids, opened up her stomach, took out the...
Almost every day, there's a hostage protest in Israel, guys.
Now the government has decided to expand the war and push deeper into Gaza. But my husband is still there. Every invasion, every bullet, every airstrike could cost him his life.
How much more fucking proof do you need, chat? We're air frying this boy. And I'm using Israeli media to do it. Now, watch, it gets better. Let's look at what this idiot says next.
Yet, if you listen to the speeches of Israeli officials, they say...
You guys heard that? If you listen to the speeches of Israeli officials, okay?
We need to bring back the hostages and dismantle Hamas. Always say...
Oh, really? Yeah, this is so funny. I got to rewind it for you guys. I want you guys to hear this in totality.